Hello everyone, I am Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all a draft analysis video for Season 1 of the Development Battle League, or DBL. This is a new draft league that was created by Old School Sin, a YouTuber on YouTube, also a streamer on Twitch, and he's also very well known for having participated in Season 4 of the National Pokemon Association, or NPA. So, the way I got into this league was I was actually kind of invited to join this league, and I definitely wanted to because it's a new league, and I was definitely looking forward to facing new people, in all honesty, because I mean the last few draft leagues that I've done, it's been mostly with people that I'm familiar with. Well, at least in the Nacho Gold Digger League, because in the Nacho Gold Digger League is where I faced most of the familiar faces. Talent Squad League did have a new set of faces, so, but you know, I don't know. A lot of them were weird or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, in all honesty. I'm terrible at things. As for PGL, new faces as well. So, yeah, with some familiar faces. Like, people I know but never have battled before. That was actually kind of interesting. So, I wanted to see what the DBL had. So, and because Sin was actually, or it wasn't Sin technically that invited me. I think technically the one who invited me was Jodor, just because Jodor was the one that DM'd me on Discord saying, hey, there's a league going on, so if you want to join it, join the server or something. And that's exactly what I did. And then as soon as I joined the server, Sin came and said, hey, welcome my guy, and I was like, hey, that's cool. And he said he was happy to see me join this league, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I like that, because honestly, I didn't think anyone would even care I joined a league, but the fact that someone actually cares is like, I like that. It's pretty cool. I actually feel honored, in all honesty. But yeah, so this is gonna be the first season. It's a very, very new league, like if it wasn't obvious already. And the reason why I'm providing a draft analysis video is it's kind of because I observed Sin and the way he's running the league and all that stuff, and he really seems to put quite the effort into making this league stand out, even though I personally don't know if that's even gonna be the case whatsoever, because in all honesty, the DBL feels kind of like the PGL. It's nothing too big, but it's just a draft league full of content creators, which is probably the more important thing about the draft league, is that it's basically a league where a bunch of content creators gather and face each other in competition, basically. But yeah, so the fact that Sin was actually putting a lot of effort into this league, or at least that's how I saw it, I definitely wanted to, I was kind of inspired, or at least motivated to go out of my way to actually make a video where I actually you know, explain my draft picks, basically. And not to mention I have graphics for it, so why not use it, you know? So here we go. So if you're wondering what the previous pick thingy-majigger means, it's basically the coach that actually picks before I do, and next pick is also the coach that picks after I already picked. So the reason why you see me twice there is just because I picked twice, because I'm actually the last pick. The way people pick their draft, or pick their Pokemon and whatnot, or draft their Pokemon, as they say, is that they make a list. I think they list all the coaches, and then they randomize the list, and then the order that they come out as, numerical wise, I don't know how to say it, in all honesty, but after the coaches are listed after being randomized or something, however it works, the draft begins in snake order. So if there's 12 coaches, from 1 to 12, 1 starts first, and then it goes all the way down to 12, and then from 12 all the way back up to 1. I think that's how the drafting works in snake order. So that's kind of how it was, and I got last pick, basically. So that kind of worried me right out of the gate, because I was kind of wondering, is this going to be bad for me? Like, is there going to be a lot of things that I want to get that are going to be picked like first round? Like, is it going to be sniped? And there was a couple mons that were actually sniped first round, actually. Like, I wanted Tapu Koko and Zygarde 50%, but they were both taken. So I was just like, dang. So because of that, my first pick for the DBL now is actually going to be Mega Lopunny, just because Mega Lopunny is a Pokemon that is fast, is powerful, has decent coverage, and is a pretty cool mon. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty fast, like I said. It has respectable bulk, so, and it can set up, and it has not reliable recovery, but definitely in a form of recovery. And if it can recover and still be offensive and powerful and all that stuff, that makes it kind of good in all honesty. Mega Lopunny is a Pokemon that I actually used in the Town Squad League as well, and I actually used it pretty well. Like, I thought it did pretty good. In fact, it was probably my MVP of the entire season as well. So, and so it did pretty good, and I wanted to actually use it again. If you're probably well, actually, I don't think you're probably wondering. You may very well be wondering why I'm not using Mega Sharpedo. Well, it's because Mega Sharpedo, it's kind of hard for me to use it if it's not gonna be able to use Speed Boost. So I kind of wasn't able to, and not to mention, I also kind of want to win a draft league for once. So I'm kind of hoping that using Mega Lopunny kind of helps me with that. Like, I probably used Mega Sharpedo if I wanted to be like the more creative type of battler, but that's really hard, and it always doesn't end up working out in all honesty. So I don't want to take any risks with this league. I actually want to do very well in this league. So I definitely kind of was taking the try hard route here and going with Mega Lopunny. But Mega Lopunny is a Pokemon that I actually like to use, so it doesn't even matter anyway. So because I do like it, I think it's my second favorite Mega, actually, after Mega Sharpedo, because I think the other two are actually Mega Diancie and Mega Gardevoir. So yeah, I do like Mega Lopunny anyway, so it's like, it's not like I'm genuinely tryharding. I do like to use Mega Lopunny. It's just that I think it's better in draft format than Mega Sharpedo, in all honesty. I know Mega Sharpedo can work in draft format, like without the use of Speed Boost, but you know, I just kind of wanted to use Mega Lopunny, and I think it's gonna be hard to pull it off with Mega Sharpedo, in all honesty. So yeah, that's why I picked Mega Lopunny. So Mega Lopunny is a pretty good mon, but it does have its weaknesses. It's weak to Fairy, Psychic, Flying, Fighting. I needed something that could kind of resist at least some of those typings. So because of that, I actually went with Skarmory for round 2 as my pick. It's my tier 1 pick as well, because this is a tier-based draft league. Like the draft system, the draft infrastructure, whatever you call it, is tier-based. So it's not like a point-based draft league like the Nacho Gold Digger League or the Valhalla League. It's actually a tier-based draft. So I got Skarmory, which is ranked tier 1. I thought it was a pretty good mon because it's good on it's a good Fizz Def wall, because it could take a lot of hits from annoying mons like Landersty. It could take hits from mons like Salamence, although they can be mixed attackers, but right now I'm actually worried about the physical defense, in all honesty. I needed a physical wall, in all honesty, to be able to take a hit or two from any powerful hitters. And if it comes to stuff like the God, Skarmory can definitely be there to, you know, prevent it from doing its thing. So it's mostly to wall a bunch of hyper offensive mons like the God or Landersty. So, but and more basically. But it's not only good at just walling things. It's also good at it can set up hazards. It can remove hazards. It has reliable recovery, and it can phase. So it has a lot of good options, in all honesty. So I definitely thought it was a pretty good thing to draft, and on top of that, it also covers some of Mega Lopunny's weaknesses. So I figured, why not? Because it resists Psychic, Fairy, and not Fighting. It's neutral on Fighting, but Flying types. There we go. So yeah, Skarmory, it's a very good defensive wall that can also be a good support user. So in terms of setting up hazards and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna try to also be as quick as possible with this, because I also don't want to spend too much time talking about them, about a certain mon. But if I end up doing that, and you don't like it, I'm sorry. I don't know. But anyways, moving on anyway. We're going to round 3 here. I do pick my Milotic for round 3. This Pokemon is ranked tier 2 because it's pretty good, and I know why I picked it is because I like its defensive typing, just being a water type and all that stuff. You can easily predict when someone actually wants to try to bring something for Milotic, in all honesty. Milotic doesn't have the best of move pools, but it definitely is good. Like, it's another good defensive wall. It more so on the SPDF side than on the physical side, unless you're trying to run Marvel scale sets or something. But Milotic is a pretty good wall. So Milotic has very good SPDF, and Skarmory has very good PhysDev. The reason why I was thinking about bulk at the time here was because, at this point of the draft anyways, is because since I got an offensive user in Mega Lopunny, I wanted to I wanted some mons that can at least take a hit or two, because if they come after Mega Lopunny, like if there's something that's super fast or something faster than Mega Lopunny, like in the form of a Choice Scarf user or something, and just wants to come at Mega Lopunny with a powerful move that can potentially KO it, I figured why not get some bulky mons like Skarmory, Milotic to take hits from. I needed walls as well. Like I kind of wanted to. Like I wanted to make sure that my team wasn't full of glass cannons, in all honesty, because that's kind of what messes up a lot of teams, in all honesty. That's just my opinion though. I could be dead wrong on that. People can definitely prove me wrong on that. But yeah, I like the idea of having some defensive options here as well, because Milotic is pretty good defensively as well. It has recovery. It has moves that prevent you from setting up, like in the form of Haze or Dragon Tail and all that stuff for phasing. It has coverage for the grass type at the very least, in the form of Ice Beam. It can Scald, and it can Scald burn you, and then Milotic, if it's defensive enough, it can just take hits for days, and you're just there not being able to do anything about it. And if it has Haze and you try setting up, then you're kind of in for some real issues. So yeah, so I do like Milotic, and Milotic is, once again, it's a pretty cool Pokemon. Like some of these mons, yeah, I picked them because I like them, but I also try to make sure that there's something, you know, pretty good about them, at least when I'm using them in draft format, because I think in Smogon battles is where I try to use Pokemon just to, you know, have fun. But here we go. That's round 3. My third pick, that's my round 3 pick, Milotic. Round 4 is actually going to be the signature of my team for the draft format, Sylveon. Now the reason why I got Sylveon was because Sylveon is pretty good. It's a pretty good bulky offensive kind of one, because it has very good special attack, but its HP and special defense are pretty good. Its physical defense is not that great, but if you invest enough defense, even then Hyper Voice will still do a lot of damage to a lot of things on a bunch of teams, unless they resist it. And even then, it might still do at least a respectable amount of damage. So it's still good at, even if you run it max defense or something. But on top of it being bulky offensive and all that stuff, it's also pretty good as a support user. It can Wish, it can Baton Pass, it can, what's it called? Heal Bell. Like in case you're dealing with Toxic Spikes, or someone keeps Will-O-Wisping you in your face or paralyzing you, you can run Heal Bell just to get rid of those. You can get rid of paralysis on Mega Lopunny if someone just happens to Thunder Wave or something. I can just use Sylveon to like Heal Bell or something. So move pool wise, I don't think it's that great, but again, it does the job decently. Like it can run sets very, very respectively, and I think it only takes a matter of knowing what your tendencies are and what your opponent's tendencies are in order to get things going with Sylveon, even if it's set like its move pool is not that great. But I like Sylveon, so I use it whenever I want it. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so yeah, that's Sylveon for you. It's a very good bulky offensive option, as well as a defensive support user. So that's one of the things I kind of wanted. Sylveon is kind of like Skarmory and Milotic. It's bulky, but it can also be like Mega Lopunny and just be offensive. The only difference is that Sylveon is slow. That's probably the only downside, is that it's slow. But I mean, you kind of have to trade off some defensive options for speed, in all honesty, and I think it's worth it. So yeah, that's Sylveon for you. Now round 5, my pick is gonna be what's it called, Braviary. Oh yeah, and before anything, Sylveon's tier 2. I got it for free though, cause points and whatnot. So anyways, Braviary, round 5 pick. This thing is tier 5, and the reason I picked it was because it has Defiant, which discourages any Intimidate users from just being all intimidating, because honestly, I'm not up for that kind of stuff. Cause let me tell you that Intimidate is a really, really annoying ability, because when you're trying to be offensive, a Intimidate user just comes in and lowers your attack, and if they have some defensive walls, they just switch straight into that, and then you're just, if you're really trying to be offensive, you'll probably just stay in and try to keep attacking, and you're just not able to do a lot of damage because of the Intimidate that reduced your attack. So I want something that kind of punishes Intimidate and actually retaliates with something really, really devastating in the form of +2 or +1 returns or Brave Birds, or any coverage move that Braviary has for whatever Pokemon it's facing. So that's one of the reasons why I got Braviary. And on top of that, I wanted another flying type just to kind of avoid being being vulnerable to Earthquake, because I don't like people just coming in my face saying, I'm gonna Earthquake you, because you know. Earthquake is very, very annoying. It's a 100 base attack that if it's stab, it's just gonna do horrendous amount of damage. So I definitely wanted Braviary just for another earthquake immunity mon, and so that people just don't feel confident in just going for earthquakes and all that stuff. So yeah, and not to mention Braviary can run some pretty cool sets as well. Like it can run the bulk up subset, or it can run the roosting tailwind set, or it can run a scarf set, a band set. It can run all kinds of sets. So I am definitely looking forward to using Braviary. But anyways, so round 6, it's gonna be Jolteon. Now the reason why I got Jolteon was because, like I said earlier, I wanted to get Tapu Koko, but it was already sniped, so I definitely couldn't get it. So I decided to go with an alternative here in Jolteon, because Jolteon has the same base speed as Tapu Koko, has higher special attack than Tapu Koko, and if Tapu Koko comes out and gets the electric terrain up, only Jolteon can capitalize from it, whereas Tapu Koko cannot, because Jolteon also does have Volt Absorb, which gives it Volt Switch immunity or any electric immunity whatsoever. And that's really, really good for Skarmory, Milotic, and Braviary, who are all weak to electrical type attacks. And as for its move pool, it's not that wide once again, but again, it does the job decently, because the point is to hit things really, really hard with electrical type attacks anyway, so, or just to pivot with Volt Switch if necessary. So that's why I got Jolteon, because it's fast and hits really, really hard. And it's basically the alternative to Tapu Koko. It can even be better than Tapu Koko, because again, the electric type immunity. Electric type immunity, speed, and power is pretty much the reason I got Jolteon, in all honesty. So yeah, that's Jolteon for you. It's a pretty cool mon, and it's probably the second evolution I actually pick. I actually have 2 evolutions in a single draft. That's kind of interesting. But anyways, my round 7 Pokemon is going to be Flygon this time. Again, I was getting kind of concerned with me having too many weaknesses to the electric typing, so I wanted to get some more stuff that can be immune to electric type moves, and if it's not going to be bulky, at least it can be relatively fast, so that it can at least run maybe scarf sets, or if not, sets that can raise its speed and maybe even attack. And Flygon kind of fit that build perfectly, because it's a ground type, it can set up Dragon Dance, it can be fast, and it can outspeed a lot of things and do a lot of damage. Not as much damage as other Dragon types though, but again, it has that Volt Switch immunity, which is kind of what I was really, really concerned about. Its defenses are not that terrible either, so if I wanted to run like a semi-defensive roosting set or something like that, I could do that if I wanted to. I just need, oh, and this thing is also very, it resists Stealth Rocks, so, and one of the things that most most airborne Pokemon suffer is Stealth Rocks, because a lot of them are flying types and a lot of them are weak to rocks, so this thing is airborne and is not weak to rocks. That's one of the things I feel like I really, really need for this team. It also is immune to electric moves, which is one of the things I need as well, because if I say I bring Jolteon and someone actually has like Mega Ampharos, which has Mold Breaker, which can allow it to hit through Volt Absorb with Thunderbolt, you know, that's the whole enchilada. So this thing can come in, Flygon, and just, you know, wreak havoc basically. It has a decent move pool as well. Like it has Earthquake, it has Outrage or Dragon Claw. It has Fire Punch if you're trying to hit something that resists both of what's it called? Flygon's what's it called? Flygon's defenses, I guess. Oh no. Stab moves. Jeez, man. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, like such as Fortress or Scizor or something like that. You can hit it with Fire Punch or something. Its coverage, again, it's like not wide, but it's not terrible either. I think it's pretty decent. A lot of these mons that I've picked so far, like they don't have the widest of move pools, but they definitely work. And you know what they say, like I said before, you don't change what isn't broken, because if it's not broken, then why fix it? You know, and damn, I keep hitting things like if I'm crazy or something. But anyways, so that's why I got Flygon, because it's pretty good. It's a Dragon type too, so I figured, yeah, this could be my Dragon type for this draft. I don't get Goodra, I don't get Salamence, I don't get Garchomp or anything like that. Just a good old Flygon for good old time's sake. So anyways, after Flygon, I decided to go with jeez, is that a bunch of noise am I hearing in the background? I do apologize for that, but again, that's just the way life is in these parts. Anyways, So week 8, round 8, we're gonna be picking Xatu. Reason why is because Xatu is a magic bounce user, and if there's one thing I really despise is when people come in and think they can just set up their hazards already. So I decided to use Xatu here to basically to discourage any users of any hazard users to get their hazards up basically. So, but it's also pretty decent because it's a psychic type and can also hit flying type. It's a very good resisting, like a resistance to fighting types, kind of, because remember that most fighting types can carry rock moves. But if you run a defensive Xatu with Rocky Helmet or something, they have to dedicate to take it out basically, because I don't think Ice Punch or Stone Edge just kill or one shot Xatu unless they crit or something. And you can definitely capitalize on, you know, doing other things in the process, like maybe roosting or something. Yeah, and on top of that, yeah, like I said, it has recovery, it has roost, it has I think it gets Nightshade as well, so that way you don't have to depend on the offensive potential of Xatu. You can just get some fixed damage no matter what set you're running. It has Heat Wave to prevent stuff like Fortress from being funny and just setting up hazards in your face. Like if they try to volt switch, if they try to stay in and volt switch on you, they're gonna take a freaking Heat Wave before they do that. So yeah, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all. Like it's a very good hazard user, I think. No, not hazard user. I don't know how to say it. The hazard discourager or something? I don't know, damn. I don't know how to say it in all honesty. But yeah, it's, you know what I mean. It's basically there just to discourage anyone from using hazards very easily and whatnot. So, but it's a very, I think it can work though. It's good at pivoting. It has recovery. It can be bulky and can kind of wall some hits, given the right matchups and all that. So yeah, I thought Xatu can probably work. So now Delmice, here's another Pokemon that's kind of like, when I picked it, I had in mind it, like I thought of it more as a like a tool kind of mon, but I don't know, it's pretty good still. It can run, it's very powerful, that needless to say, that you can even run it defensively and still do a lot of damage because of its amazing attack stat. But it's the reason why I got Delmice was because I wanted a ghost type to pretty much have some immunities to normal type moves or fighting type moves for that matter, and then there's also trying to block spin users, like rapid spin users, like, you know, those people that try to get rocks out by going for rapid spin and not defog, because, you know, defog is a pretty good move for getting rid of hazards, but it always gets rid of both sides of hazards. So there's those people that run rapid spin, so they only get rid of hazards from your side of the field and not theirs. So because of that, I decided to go with Delmice, which is a rapid spinner, by the way, but it's also a spin blocker. So if someone tries to be funny and try to go for rapid spin, you just switch this thing in, and you can sometimes even scare them away into thinking that they're gonna just attack you or something, or you're gonna attack them, when you can also just predict them and go for rapid spin. So that's one of the reasons why I got Delmice, because it's a ghost type, it has some immunities, and it can rapid spin, and it can spin block. So yeah, and yeah, and its coverage is not that terrible either, because it hits a lot of things relatively hard. It can trap things and prevent people from just doubling in your face. Doubling, not doubling or whatever the hell I said there earlier. But yeah, so that's Delmice for you right there. Tier 5, by the way. It's a tier 5 mon. No, not. It's tier 4. Tier 4, just like Flygon. It's not that bad in all honesty. It gets the job done relatively well. But anyways, round 10 is going to be another ghost type. It's going to be Cofagrigus. Now, the reason why I got Cofagrigus as well is just because Cofagrigus is a very versatile mon. It can be defensive, it can be offensive, it can set up Trick Room, it can set up Nasty Plots, it can set up hazards, it can knock off, it can Will-O-Wisp, it can set up stats on it. It can do all kinds of things, and it has pretty good stats. Like, the only downside is that it has no speed whatsoever. Its HP is also rather mediocre, but again, its defensive stats are pretty dang good, and it's actually worked for me on a lot of occasions to actually deliver on some performances. because yeah, like I think I've explained in numerous battles whenever I use Kafarigas that Kafarigas really just comes in very clutch. It comes in handy in a lot of battles, in all honesty, and it's an effective. It can do other things, like it has a lot of variety. Is one of the reasons why I definitely picked Kafarigas. I can run all kinds of sets on it, and it's probably one of the more unpredictable mons because it carries so many potential sets that they're not necessarily uncommon, but they're not common either. So yeah, yeah, that was quick. But anyways, so yeah, Kafarigas is a tier 3. No, I think it's tier 4 as well. Yeah, I think it's tier 4 as well. This Kafarigas, and yeah. So round 11. Now this one, okay, this last pick was really hard for me to do because there was a Pokemon that I actually had in mind that I wanted to pick, but I just wasn't sure if I wanted to. But it had a lot of good tools that I could have taken advantage out of. But there were some other concerns that I had, because there was Pokemon like Suicune and there was Pokemon like freaking Jellicent around. My round 11 pick is actually going to be Roserade. If you wanted to know what my pick was going to be over Roserade if I didn't pick Roserade, it was gonna be Hippowdon, because Hippowdon can actually do things that Milotic can't do. So, but I wanted to use Roserade because Roserade is a Pokemon that this thing actually hits really dang hard. I'll have you know. It's a Pokemon that I love as well, by the way. Like, it has a very cool design. It has like a sophisticated yet like grimacing kind of look. Like it looks like it can, like it means business, but it's like it doesn't over exaggerate it or something. It has like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's very hard to describe the design of Roserade, but Roserade is pretty cool and I love this Pokemon a lot. I think I've even mentioned numerous times that I love Roserade. Like, it's one of my favorite Pokemon, like next to Sharpedo and all that stuff. But yeah, so Roserade is a pretty good mon. Now this thing has some decent coverage, especially because it has the Technician ability, which grants you any 90 base hidden power type, which is really good. It has recovery as well if you try to run it defensively. It can run Leech Seed to just annoy things, and then it can also hit really hard with a Leaf Storm. It can put things to sleep with Sleep Powder. It can paralyze things with Stun Spore. It can Giga Drain to get recovery back, basically. It can hit you really hard with a stab Sludge Bomb. Roserade is very good for fairy types such as Florges because of Sludge Bomb. It's good against Suicune because of Giga Drain and all that stuff. It's one of the things that can also hit Suicune really hard, so that it doesn't just come in, set up Calm Minds, and then start sweeping you somehow. Because that's actually what's really annoying about Suicunes. And it's faster than Suicune, so I don't have to worry about it outspeeding. Because Suicune, for a bulky mofo that it is as a Pokemon, it has really good speed. It's 85 base speed, which outspeeds stuff like Goodra. It's crazy. So that's why I'm glad Roserade. Like, this is one of the reasons I picked Roserade. Roserade's kind of like meant to be a wall breaker of sorts. It's just supposed to hit a lot of things hard, especially the defensive mons. So, and I don't think mons like Hippowdon would have done me that, in all honesty. And Hippowdon was another wall too, which I already had in Milotic and Skarmory anyways, and potentially Sylveon even. So I didn't really feel like I needed it, in all honesty. And instead I felt like I needed some more offensive potential. And in this case, Roserade is also a specially offensive Pokemon because I think my only other specially offensive mon right now is Jolteon. Like, unless I want to run like offensive Milotic or something, but you know, in most cases I don't typically do that. So, and Sylveon, yeah, I guess Sylveon is also a good special attacker. Yeah, it really is. But I don't know. Roserade it has a different typing, and that's another thing that needs to be considered here. Is that it's a different typing. It has grass and poisoning as its typings, and they're very good offensive typings. Like, it covers a lot of typings, so you know, coverage. And it looks cool. That's one of the reasons why. That's basically the entire reasons I got Roserade, because it's cool. I love this Pokemon. But yeah, so those are going to be all of the Pokemon that I draft for this season of the DBL. Yeah, so all I can say is I hope I win, or at least I hope I do well in this league. I don't have to win it, but at least I hope to do very, very well and not get blown back by anybody. If I lose, let it be a close battle at the very least, because you know we're trying to have good battles here. But anyways, so that's gonna be it for this draft analysis. Let me know what you people thought. Like, you guys think I did well? Do you guys think I'm stuttering too much, going and all that stuff? And that, like, it's because the thing is that I'm not very used to explaining things, and not to mention, in fact, I probably didn't even explain a lot of things very well, did I? I mean, I really tried, in all honesty. So please understand. Nonetheless, thank you all for watching this draft analysis. Like I said, the reason I wanted to do it was just because, like I said, Old School Sin, he be putting them efforts for the DBL, so I kind of figured why not do the same, kind of. But anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this new league. There's gonna be a lot of new faces that I'm gonna be very interested in seeing. There's some familiar faces as well, so I could be looking forward to some, rematches, which is scary, by the way. But yeah, like, I'm hoping to do very well this time around. But anyways, thank you all for watching once again. I think I said that for like the 17,000th time. But yeah, thank you once again, because I mean, who honestly likes to watch my videos anyway? But yeah, so stay tuned for week 1 to come out. In fact, it's gonna come in a bit, actually. Like, right now, it's because fun fact, this draft analysis, I'm doing it right now at midnight, because literally this is the only time I could do it, at least for this week. This was the only time I could, because this entire week I've been doing nothing but work all day, non-stop. So, and I wanted to get this out before I get week 1 battles up, because it wouldn't make sense that I post week 1 and then showcase draft analysis. That just doesn't work that way. Yeah, because spoiler alert, I already did get my week 1 battle done already, but I haven't posted it yet. I wanted to get this out of the way first. So yeah, for the 20,000th time now, thank you all for watching my draft analysis video. Do let me know what you guys thought. Like, you guys thought I was lame? You guys thought I was boring? You guys thought I was okay, passable? I am looking forward to hearing it, but don't be a savage though, because honestly, I don't like that either. Honestly, I do want some criticism, but not like savage criticism either, because come on now, I'm trying to be chill here. So yeah, like I said, stay tuned for week 1. That's gonna go up shortly after this draft analysis, because yeah, that's just how it is. But I'll hope to see you guys all in the next battle. For now, just take it easy and have a good one.